Not a bad little project, is it? Apart from the spelling mistake. But hey, you know, they had one job. They got that wrong. Just haven't had the time to do that. Yes, this is my building sign that I did a while ago. It's a bit of a pet project, and had some macrocarpa kicking around in the shop. So I decided to have a go at doing some more mortise and tenon joinery. And so over the next couple of weeks I'm going to be doing a little bit of a show and tell on some of the projects I've done in the past, and show you just what's capable, even just being a builder and having simple tools in your garage, not having the big joiners and planers, just what is possible and what you can do. I'm still learning, of course, because I wasn't professionally trained in joinery. I'm a carpenter builder by trade, but this is what I was able to come up with. So it's basically just a sight sign that will go on your side or out the front of your home. Just another way of marketing yourself, and people see the nice work that you've put into, you know, making things, and they go, oh, if he's made a sign that good, then surely his building can't be too bad either. So going around the sign, as you can see, got a couple of mortise and tenon joints. We've got wedges on the side. This is so that these wedges can come out, so they can be wiggled out, so that this top piece can be removed, so that the actual sign that's inside here, because it's been grooved out, that can be lifted out, which I'll show you in a minute. Down in the bottom here, we also have some house mortise and tenons. So obviously there's no way. So how did you fix that in there, Gary? Well, you can see right there, that's a little plug. So that plug goes in and then inside the tenon. So if I need to later on down the time, I can drill into this, hook into it, and pop it on out, and that whole thing will come apart. Yeah, it's just a house tenon with a little dowel pushed in there, locking it all in together. Just nice macrocarpa, just polished up, drop saw, table saw, straight edges, plain, bit of sanding, bit of thought. That's what you can achieve. Comes up really nice. And obviously, judging by the clamp that's in the ground, you put stakes in the ground where you're going to put it on site, and then you'd fix it into that, and then you can remove it and such forth. Alright, so taking the wedges out, these just slide out of these tenons without the side falling over, nice and carefully, so as to preserve our tenons. So as you can see there, put a groove in here with our table saw. We had to be very, very, very careful when putting this for our table saw. Obviously you could have used a router, but I didn't have access to one at the time. I've only just got a new cordless one. But I was able to do this with the table saw. So obviously with the curve of the blade inside your table saw and not wanting to go too deep, curve the blade is only so high, the length of it, so when you want to cut to here, your blade's going to end up at this point here. So you've got to be very careful, mark where your edge of your blade is in relation on your table saw, and then you can work those things out, set that out, and that just slips in there nicely. See, nice chiseled out mortise there. That is a lot harder than it looks. To some guys, like the samurai carpenter, it's very, very easy. But you just drill it, chisel it. A little bit more work. Do the majority of the work on the table saw, as you've probably seen in like other videos that some people do. Then you use what's called a shoulder plane or a rebate plane. They're not a typical plane. They actually have the blade on the very outside edge, so you've got to be a bit careful. These are super old. These are from he's actually passed away, but an old carpenter that I was lucky to be gifted these, and I took the time to take them back, clean everything up, de-rust them and hone them as good as I could. These are very, very, very old. Obviously you can see just by the look of them. Yeah, Stanley, of course. And that's for very, very fine work. You can set the blade wherever you want, and just it enables you, when you're cutting, to get right in on those edges. Make very nice, precise cuts. not only was I gifted that one, I was also gifted this double. You probably would have seen these before. Fantastic pieces of kit, beautifully flat. Blade, I didn't have to do much to that at all. It was kept in primo condition its entire life. So there wasn't too much to do to this old girl, but just a lovely, lovely little plane, and I'm doing this a lot easier. So, that's slid in there, and if I'm very, very careful, so that whole sign comes out of there. Multi-purpose it. If I don't want to put this on site, I can just screw this panel onto a fence or hook it onto a fence or whatever I like to do. But the same principle applied here. See, I had to cut this cut long enough so it could be slid in and out. Okay. We have another look here. Reposition. So you can see here, nice and tenoned in, taking the time, make things right, do it all nice and lovely. Yeah, so fairly simple bit of joinery, but obviously you've got to take the time to think about what you're doing, especially when you're cutting things. Obviously which one's the front, which one's the back, which way the tenons are going to work, because it's not just screw together she'll be right. It's not like that at all. You've got to take your time, think about what you're doing, plan it out, draw it out, and just be diligent. It all takes time. So that back in there, just like a ball. Well, I lie, because you can't buy these, because they're too awesome. I've got that around the wrong way, so one tenon's bigger than the other, so that I know that it's going to go on the right way. Just like that. So obviously it's had a few scuffs, but it is a construction site piece of equipment. But yeah, that's just an example of what you can do with a couple of pieces of macrocarpa, some imagination, and a bit of time, a bit of effort. And when people see this on your building sites, yeah, it'll get their attention, alright. That's for sure. So anyway guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Quick little video from me. Alright, Omni out.